Hey listeners, Hit the Books is available everywhere you get your podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, and more. Be sure to tune in each week and like, rate, and subscribe.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Season 2, Episode 25 of Hit the Books, your weekly podcast dedicated to all things sports. This week, we want to review everything we've missed in the NHL and NBA the past couple weeks, recap the Super Bowl, and more. Football season is over, but that doesn't mean that the sports stop. MLB is right around the corner, and NHL, NBA, and college basketball are in full swing. Some of the most exciting times of the year in those leagues coming up soon. Let's jump in today's episode by introducing my co-hosts, Huff, Ace, and Mackie. Ace, let's start off with you this week. What's happening, buddy? Super Bowl last Sunday. What do we got?
Yeah, like you said, coming off the Super Bowl, one of the most exciting events of the whole year for us, at least. That was a great game. I thought one of the best ones we've seen in a while. And the whole pod cashed out on it. Love to see that as well. The team I've been jacking for weeks. I guess I kind of gassed up Patrick Mahomes all the time as the best player in the league, and he came through in the clutch, so I love to see that too. But now we're getting all the other sports back off of the breaks too, so ready to roll there. Excited to talk about some all different things today.
Yes, sir, you're right. Everybody cashed in on the Super Bowl. I got those records here coming up soon. Huff, you're up next. What's going on? Another week here on the podcast.
Yeah, what's going on, everyone? Happy to be back. Like Ace said, fresh off the Super Bowl. Very eventful game, like you said, if not the most that we've seen in the past. I don't even know how many years. Probably since that Eagles Patriots game, that back and forth game that we had there. The Eagles just put on a good show in the Super Bowl. They just couldn't get it done this year, and obviously against Mahomes, the crazy comeback, the 10-point comeback in the second half, but. Mackie, I was watching with you and Jesse. As soon as Mahomes scored that touchdown to start the second half, I was getting pretty scared there, and should have hedged. But hitting those first two bets, I was on cloud nine the whole game. I honestly didn't even really care too much about the end result, but should have hedged. It would have been the smart move because I could have got the Chiefs at halftime. I think it was plus 280, and having 2 units on the Eagles, I could have broke even on either way, or made money on either way technically, but. You win some, you lose some. Still made 9.3 units, I think, on the Super Bowl, hitting that first touchdown. About time I hit a first touchdown on the card. No better way to go out on the season than cashing in on technically 2 first touchdowns, a first team and a first touchdown. But Eagles couldn't get it done for me, but we'll get into the game in a little bit. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Pretty good weekend, though. A lot of sports going on.
Lots of good stuff there, Huff. Really excited for that. Let's finish it off here with Mackie. What's going on, buddy? Nice to hear from you again here this week.
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, hell of a Super Bowl. Definitely 2 best teams in the league, like we like to see. So, put up a really good show, and obviously Kansas City came out on top. Me and Ace been riding them all year. Patty Mahomes, that's the dude. Can't really fade him, but hell of a game. Jalen Hurts definitely solidified himself as one of the top 4. I would say top 4 quarterbacks in the league with that performance. Just came up a little short. Overall, just sucks football is over, but we're in the full swing of things in the NHL, NBA, college basketball. Right now, we got March Madness coming up, and yeah, it's basically it. Let's get into the swing of things.
Lots of good stuff there, boys. Excited for yet another week of sports here after the Super Bowl. Lots to look forward to. Let's jump into a little review of our cards lately. The NHL card overall is 59 and 53. For plus 4.4 units. The NBA card is 31, 23, and 1, plus 6.5 units. And the college basketball card is 64, 49, and 2, plus 10.5 units with some plays pending here tonight. I think we're working on some other things across the other leagues. But here, Wednesday night, lots of good stuff out of our daily cards. So make sure you're following those, checking those out on our social media platforms, and all that good stuff.
as college basketball has picked back up, we've kind of hit a little cold spell in the NHL, so looking to get that back going. I know we haven't hit our last two, so definitely want to get back in the win column in the NHL. As I think we were up like fucking 17 units at one point, if I'm not correct. 15, I know, right?
Yeah, we were sitting pretty with double digits for a while. Definitely went cold around the All-Star break, which makes sense with a lot of weird lineup changes and people being sat out as they nurse those injuries, gearing up for the long haul. But now that that's out of the way and teams are either unloading or loading up on new talent at the deadline, I think teams are going to start to win that need to, and we'll be ready to lock in those picks with some good analysis there.
Yeah, NHL has definitely been taking a bit of a beating, but I mean, we'll bounce back. We know what we're doing out here, so everybody hits a dry spell. We'll be back above 10 units in no time. I'm not really worried about that. College basketball has been rolling. I feel like that's our most consistent. Back above 10 units, it's gonna get rolling. We're looking at maybe over 25 units by the end of the season.
I love it.
That's the goal. That's me and Huff talked about it.
25. That's the
After
number.
March Madness, that's definitely. I mean, we should kill March Madness.
That's
I'm planning
doable.
on-
There's so many
I'm-
dogs and Mackie. Last year, I know. But I mean, the past 2 years, me watching March Madness with you, we always agree on so many underdog money lines. I know, obviously, like I always say, take the points. But in March, there's so much value on some of those dogs.
Yeah, and you're gonna let a few 2 units fly in March Madness whenever we're really confident on a play. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I could definitely see up 25 units by the end of the season. March Madness, I'm planning to eat, and I know you are too. So
Yeah, I like that. Sounds like a good plan to me. So, let's hope we can come back to this. And what's today's date? February 15th. End of March Madness. Let's see what the
Check
record
it.
is.
check it. Fact
We'll
check.
check the stats in about a month or so.
We
Over
are
a
just
month.
1 month away from March Madness here, starting on March 14th, ending right around, I believe, the first week of April. Lots of good stuff to look forward to. So excited.
Can't wait for that. Can't beat the midday betting. I mean, everybody jumps in on that. Especially me, not a big NCAA guy throughout the season. So luckily, I got Huff and Mackie doing all the research for me, and they'll fill me on what to take when it comes that time.
It's March Madness is honestly there is nothing better than like midday on a Thursday. There's 16 college basketball games on at noon, and that's the best time of year. It's almost. I mean, I always say afternoon baseball is good, but there's nothing like March Madness in the afternoon.
First 2 days of March Madness is actually better than like Christmas morning when you're 7 years old. It is. It's actually better.
Thursday and Friday of March Madness, the round of 64 is absolutely amazing every year. We always get some good upsets, and we'll have to see if we can call one of these Cinderella story teams this year, Mackie.
Oh, we'll be on one or two of them. You know,
You
it's
guys ever heard of
going
an-
down.
You guys ever heard of an 8x8 for March Madness? I think I might have told Huff about this last year.
Yeah, I forget what it is though. What is it? Where you take you get so many teams.
Yeah, you get 8 people, and you're each going to end up with 8 teams to fill the 64. It goes round by round. You obviously randomize the draft order, and it snakes, and there's more value given to the lower seeds and whatnot. I think 1 through 4 are worth 1 point per round, and so on. 2 for the 5 through 8, 3 for the 9 through 12, and 4 for the 13 through 16. And then it multiplies. And I think the points double each round for the win as well. And then the person who has the most points at the end wins it all. Pretty cool thing, though.
Yeah, that is sweet. I kind of want to do that. If you need a spot, or if you guys would want to do that, I could get.
We could set one up, is what I'm saying. We get our group going. And,
I mean,
maybe
we
put
got
some
4
other
people
in.
right here, so.
Yeah, and it makes for a better way to go into it because everybody has brackets. I mean, obviously we'll all be entering a ton of those, but it's another way to enjoy some competition and get a different look at the tournament as a whole.
Yeah, as soon as you told me about that last year, I wanted to do that. And as soon as you said that, I thought that's what it was because I remember you said, didn't you have St. Peter's last year? That was one of your teams.
Yeah, that was sick.
Yeah, I remember you sending me that. I was like, well, if this team's gonna win someone money, I hope it's at least someone I know. Because I was not I think the only game I took them was who'd they beat in the Sweet 16. Mackie, do you remember that?
Who?
St. Peter's.
Did they beat a
last
Big
year.
12 team?
Yeah, they beat someone that was a pretty big statement in the Sweet 16.
I couldn't even tell you one team that they beat last year. Oh, they beat Kentucky.
That's who it was. I had them in that game. I was like, if they beat Kentucky, it's this is kind of out of hand, and they did. I had the money line. I remember.
I don't know who they beat after
They went
that.
to the Elite Eight and they lost.
Yeah, they
to
lost in the
UNC.
Elite Eight.
I have it up right here. 1 second. They were the 15 seed. They beat the 2 seed. Let's see.
Did they lose to like North Carolina or Duke?
They lost to UNC.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Let's see. Where's the? Well, they beat Kentucky.
I think Kentucky's the game I'm thinking of. Is that the Sweet 16?
No,
and then they
beat
went-
Kentucky in the first round.
Yeah, they beat. No,
Oh, is
yeah,
that
you're
the-
right.
the
They beat
15
Kentucky
over
in the
the two?
first round. Who'd they beat in the Sweet 16? Are you looking at the bracket from last year, Ace?
That's what I'm trying. I have to keep buying a link.
I forget who it was. It's
Bracket
gonna fucking
20.
kill me until we find out. But yeah, like Ace said, I'll probably have 100 brackets. I'm actually last year I think I toned it down to like 4, and I had one that was like decent, but obviously St. Peter's killed me just like it did everyone else. And yeah, I'll definitely have a couple brackets going into this year, and I'd definitely be interested in doing one of those 8x8 things if you wanna.
Oh yeah, St. Peter's. They beat Purdue in the Sweet 16.
That's
and
it, Purdue.
They beat them in the first round. Then they beat Kentucky first. Then
Yeah.
Murray State. Then Purdue.
Yes,
Yeah.
Purdue was Sweet 16.
Yeah, 2, 7, and 3.
Just murderers row for St. Peter. What was that guy's name? Doug Eater.
Yeah, and he transferred. Where'd he
yeah.
go?
He's at Seton Hall.
Yeah, I was gonna say he went somewhere else, Seton Hall. Because
He's still in Jersey.
isn't that where the coach Shaheem Holloway went? Seton Hall.
Yeah, and he brought like 6 players over.
Yeah, he took like the whole roster of St. Peter's with him.
Poor St. Peter's. I loved them last year.
They'll never do that again.
Ever. All right, let's jump into a little NHL chat here. Let's start off here with something we chatted a little bit about here before the Super Bowl. The NHL All-Star Game and Skills Competition happening earlier this month. I did not watch it, but I heard it did some terrible numbers, had really bad reviews across the board. Played in South Florida, home of the Florida Panthers. Featured some interesting events like Tendy Tandem, many that we've seen before. It seems the Atlantic Division has won the All-Star tournament, I guess is a better way to put it. Sid and Ovi's son winning the part of the skills competition, the breakaway challenge. You guys got any comments on this, on the All-Star game?
Yeah, I watched the All-Star competition, the tournament, 3-on-3 tournament. I didn't get to catch the skills competition. And plus that's kind of become less and less eventful throughout the years. There's less trying, more theatrics. But yeah, the tournament itself was good. One thing I'll advise you, whenever you watch that, always bet the over in every game. It always hits. I had over 11.5 in the first one. I think it hit for like 19. And then the second game, literally, I thought it was dead. The game was at 7 goals or 6 goals with like a minute or 2 minutes left in the whole game. And they scored like 8 goals in the last 2 minutes. They scored 3 goals in the last 30 seconds to cash the over, and it hit 12 over 11.5. I was hyped.
Yeah, they just played no defense, but that's All-Star games. That's like...
Yeah, that's the way it goes, all the breakaways. But, yeah, watched Atlantic win it again. Had to see Pasternak and Allmark in there. And then, of course, Jimmy Mott coaching the team. So, got to hear from the boys. I was hyped to see that. But they had the Kachucks playing on the same line, and they made it a big deal to interview their parents the whole time. Keith Kachuk, legend, and Matty Kachuk brought home the MVP of the whole thing, scoring the most goals. Just beat out Dylan Larkin, who was close for it. But it was in Florida, so I assume that they'd give it to the Panther as well. He's kind of carried that over into this start of post-All-Star break. He's actually been pretty hot coming out of that.
I was going to say, he's picked it up. The Panthers were on a little bit of a skid before the All-Star break, and they've started to look better.
Yeah.
But
I really think that sparked him. I mean, he went hard in it, put a lot of goals in, won the MVP, feeling hyped about hockey again, had it in his hometown, and now he's buzzing. That team's going to get in the playoffs, I'm telling you. They're going to be a wild card and a tough out for someone early on.
Those Bruins.
Hopefully we don't have to play them. Yeah, hopefully we don't have to play them.
That's who they'll play, 100%.
No, they could play 7, you know.
They're not gonna get. I don't think so.
And it's all tight. 3-point. We were alluding to this later in the podcast, but the wild card race for that bubble spots in the in the East are pretty tight, all within 3 points. 4 teams within 3 points of each other for those last 2 wildcard seeds. The
Yeah, but
Penguins, the Caps.
Pittsburgh have a lot of games
Yeah, 3 games in hand.
from everyone. 4 from the
And I
Panthers,
looked
and they
at
got 3
that.
points
That's
on
actually
them.
funny you said that because I was looking at our schedule the other day, and our last 3 games are against like Detroit, Chicago, and someone else that's not very good.
Yeah,
mean-
you guys have the games and you have the points on everyone. So I mean, Penguins have a bit of a jump on the rest of the team. The Panthers can definitely hop into that last spot.
I think the Islanders, dude. Mackie, I think it was you that said the Islanders, and I started looking at their like how they break down. Then Ace told me Bo Horvat has 34 goals today. I did not know that. Not gonna lie, I don't
Yeah,
watch
but-
many Vancouver Canucks games, but I don't think he's the reason. But I could see the Islanders sneak in.
So I said that before too, but now they're on a 3-game losing streak.
Mm-hmm.
Coming out of getting Bo Horvat, trying to get some momentum going, and you got the Panthers on your trail. So if I'm taking the Panthers or the Islanders, I'm taking the Panthers.
Yeah.
What about the Caps, though? Everybody loves to sleep on them. I think they're obviously not as good as they used to be, but they have so much veteran leadership and talent there to get that job done. Another team that consistently makes the playoffs, they'll be a tough out as well.
I feel like that's
Yeah,
they're.
I don't know.
I don't know. I
think
feel
they're
like
gonna
they don't
fall
scare
off
me
here.
as much as they usually do.
Yeah, definitely not. They just fell off. They're not a really scary team at all. I'd
I feel
rather
like they're
see them than the
similar.
Panthers.
They're similar to the Penguins, though. I think they have more talent than the Penguins.
And they have more depth, I would say. They have guys that, like, I mean, I don't know.
Ovechkin,
They-
Kuznetsov.
Yeah,
They
well,
have Backstrom and Wilson coming off injury. They got Oshie. He's coming off injury. John Carlson, I don't know if he's coming back this year. They Gustafson step up.
They're really
Um,
injured too.
yeah,
They've been all season. I don't know if they still are, but
they still are. I kind of keep going against them and
Dude, they're losing. They're
betting
not winning
against them. They
hockey.
just keep losing.
they're not winning
Yeah.
hockey games.
That's one of those teams. Stay away from. I honestly stay away from a lot of Caps games on the books because they could go either way. They have the talent to beat teams, but they're also not healthy or playing up to their standard. I just think it's gonna be a great race for that last wild card spot. I'm happy that I'm not a part of that because it's gonna be sweaty towards the end of the year.
I think it's gonna come down to 2 teams. It's gonna be the Islanders and the Panthers. And I think the Panthers.
I
get
bet you
that
the
last
Caps
spot.
hang around and there's some
I know,
bottom
I think they're
dwellers.
gonna. I just think they're gonna.
They beat the
fall off a
bad
little.
teams.
Not all the time.
They're getting healthier too. And then you obviously have, I know they're a bit out of it, not by too much, but you have the Sabres and the Red Wings right there. I don't think you guys are high on the Wings. We take them a lot on the card, but I think the Sabres are a threat. I mean, they can't play much defense, but they can put the puck in the net.
Yeah, I just think they're gonna fall off a little. They're a little inexperienced. I mean, they're an exciting young team to watch, definitely, and I think they have a bright future. That most likely a playoff team next year, but
2 years
I
out,
just
I'd
think they're
say.
gonna- yeah, I just think they're gonna fall out of it a little bit this year. They're already on a 4-game losing streak.
It was nice to see their prospect. I forget his name, but he's that goaltender. I think he was playing in the Beam Pot or something. He had like a 46 save shutout.
Was he
so-
on Northeastern?
Yeah.
Yeah, Northeastern won it.
The kid from Rhode Island scored 2 goals in the regulation. I played with him in middle school. Gunnar Wolf Fontaine. I played with him and his sister when I was young. His sister's my age. But he was nasty. He was like in 5th grade playing on our 8th grade team. Now he's scoring both goals for Northeastern. He's already drafted. He's going to be sick in the league in a few years.
Seems like a stud.
Alrighty, boys. And this Saturday, February 18th, will be the Navy Federal Credit Union NHL Stadium Series at Carter Finley Stadium in Raleigh, North Carolina, featuring the Capitals and the Canes. What do you guys think is going to happen in this matchup? Anything special? I feel like when they announced this game, I think last year, I was pretty hyped for it because they were 2 pretty hot teams, but I don't know what I'm feeling now.
They played last night and they had a good matchup.
Yeah. These 2 teams just played last night. In Washington, Carolina won 3-2, but I mean Washington held their own. They were right in that game. It's a game of bounces. They actually scored one late, got taken back for goalie interference, I think, or something. I don't even know, but they tied it up late and then just couldn't get another one.
I think that the Hurricanes actually roll in this outdoor matchup. I know that they have the inexperience outdoor, and those Caps guys have played a lot, but the energy they bring to their stadiums, imagine the atmosphere there in an outdoor game for the Carolina Hurricanes. Storm Surge is going to be rocking. I think they might come out and roll them. That team's so good too. Besides my Bruins, that's who I would pick to be the toughest out for the Stanley Cup this year. So, I mean, they're going to give the Capitals all they can handle in the first career outdoor game in the Carolinas.
I think you're right. Yeah, definitely on the same side here. Um, those North Carolina people, they love hockey. I don't know why, but it's huge down
I
there.
have
Even
no
for
idea. They love
dude,
it.
it's so weird. Yeah, that place is
You
definitely
can
gonna
get
be rocking.
hammered and watch people roll each other the whole game. Why not?
Yeah,
Sign me up.
Like
even
it's
like in-
new to them. That's why.
Yeah.
I just remember my
Uh,
first year that we were all on the same team. We were playing in the Carolinas for that tournament. It was North Carolina, right?
It was like
And,
it was like a Fed rink we were playing in.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah,
no.
it's-
Well, I'm
it's
not
a-
talking about that game. That was Winston Salem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Wake Forest.
Yeah, Wake Forest rink. That's like a Fed League rink. But I remember the tournament. It was at like the home rink for the tournament. I forget which one it was. But I think it's we showed up there and there's people around the rink building pyramids and like full coolers, full stands, just getting rowdy. Like it's a good time down there. Not too much to do, so they pull out to the hockey games.
NC State's actually playing a game on that ice. Probably, I'm assuming it's after that game.
I saw that.
That's pretty
So
cool.
That's awesome.
They've played at the Carolina Arena, right?
Yeah, definitely. Who's Carolina's coach? Rado Nor, whatever his name
Brendamore?
is? Robert. Yeah.
Rob Brendamore.
He's like came in and gave them a pep talk or something. It was pretty cool.
Are they not in the ACC anymore? They weren't on your guys' playoff standings.
Nah, they're in the upper division.
Oh.
They made like an upper division for those teams with like I don't know VTech, UNC, NC
That's kind of
State.
tough because we could
Penn
hang with
State.
like you could hang with them, but you're not gonna.
I know
win
we still.
anything.
I mean, we still played like Virginia Tech this year. We beat Virginia Tech. We played NC. We played UNC. We lost both games, but they were both close games.
It's pretty cool though. Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
you can even see it at the pro level. I mean, just look at their playoff series and how effective it is at home when they play good teams in their building. I mean, they take every series to 7. It seems like.
Yeah, they definitely feed off that energy. So I think they're overall. I agree with you here.
All right, boys, good stuff there. Big injury here coming into the league. The Senators goaltender Anton Forsberg out indefinitely after tearing MCLs in both knees, likely not be back this season, but not requiring surgery for that.
How's that even possible? What did he do?
I have no
How do you
idea.
tear them both?
And I don't know how that doesn't require surgery when you do both.
That was my next
Well-
question.
Well, there's a goalie had his first start for Ottawa last night, and he won in a shootout. He had 48 saves. Kevin Mandelis.
Yeah, didn't we have or no? That was the Islanders last night, right?
Who's
What?
their rookie goaltender that's the first to start their franchise 3-0? Is it the guy playing on the Blackhawks?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is. He lost last night though. Jackson
Who-
Stauber.
Yeah. A lot of rookie goaltenders going around throughout the league right now. It's pretty crazy.
It really is.
So I just saw the video. He got landed on, like weird, and like Mackie. I mean, I guess you can attest to this a little better. It looked like he stretched really fucking far, like sat his ass like behind his feet, like
Oh, like he was in the
down
butterfly and
he
got
was
sat
in
down.
butterfly, and his ass was like really far back, and somebody
Yeah.
sat on him, so it just like
It just like
pulled him,
snapped his
like,
knees. Yeah.
pushed him backwards.
Ooh, that dude. Holy shit, that has to hurt so bad. I can't even imagine that. That's just ooh, now I'm gonna like start paying attention to that and shit.
I'm sorry.
Mac is gonna be on the ice tonight. Like, fucking get away from me.
Get out of here. All right. So yeah, back to what you guys are saying. Sorry.
Yeah, there's just been a lot of changing of goaltenders throughout the year with a lot of injuries going around the whole league. So, but we see a lot of good goaltender play. So always good to see the next generation come up. As we know, though, those veterans usually are the ones that get the job done when it matters in the playoffs.
What's that saying
Yeah,
for your
I just-
goaltending squad this year?
I consider him a veteran. He doesn't have the he doesn't have the experience, obviously, but Allmark's been in the league for what, 4 or 5 years.
Has he been in the league 4 or 5 years?
Well, he played for Buffalo for 2, so this is his 4th year at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize he's been in the league that long. I guess I
I didn't think he was
I
in
knew
the
he
league that
played for
long
another
either.
team. I didn't know it was for 2 years.
Yeah, the only reason I knew him before was a Bruin because you could tell he was good because he'd have like a good save percentage and like goals against average on the Buffalo Sabres
I was gonna say
of
on a bad Buffalo Sabres team.
yeah, they were terrible the last few years. I mean, let me look at
But back to Ottawa, I mean, that's a team. We talked about them before the preseason, and I said that could be a team on the up and coming in the next couple of years. But this year, I think they're kind of there's too many good teams in the East for them to compete yet, and they have a good core that if they keep that core around, and supposedly there's talks of a new arena or a new stadium in Ottawa, if they can get some free agents up there, I mean, they could put together a really nice team and possibly go on a run and be one of the next. I mean, we haven't seen a Canadian team win the cup in how long, so I'm not saying they're going to go that far, but I
Mackey.
think they are on an up and coming
Sorry,
for sure.
sorry to cut you off, but this is
No, you're
Omar's
good.
8th year in the NHL.
Holy
What?
shit!
Wow.
Where else did he play?
Buffalo his whole career before that. He
Okay.
went 8,
Yeah, but
10
he
and
had,
2 in 15 and 16. He didn't get many starts in 17 and 18, but 2018, 2019, 2019, 2020, and 2020, 2021, he was their guy 3 years in a row, and then he was obviously the Bruins last year.
yeah, still no playoff experience though. But I know, damn, I didn't know he was in
Yeah,
the league for 8 years.
but he's
Crazy.
like a certified starting goaltender. Like he's not new to the gig at least.
Yeah, but back to the Senators. I mean they could be sitting there playing for a playoff spot this year. I mean they have 4 games on the Panthers, and they're 5 points behind them. So I mean, you go 4-0 and you're up 3 points on the Panthers. You're sitting in a playoff spot.
Yeah, that is a good point.
I mean, they had
I
a rough
just
start, but I think they're really finding themselves now. They're 7-3 in their last 10.
I was gonna say
Um,
I've bet against them probably two of those last 10, and obviously with that record, I think I've lost both of them. The one we had Calgary in it.
yeah, there's just a lot of teams that are right there this year.
Yeah, tough injury there for the Senators. We'll see what happens with them coming into the playoffs here. Trade deadline is approaching, just 2 weeks, two and change weeks away here. Some big trades that have come in. New York Rangers acquire forward Vladimir Tarasenko, defenseman Nico Mikola from St. Louis Blues in exchange for forward Sammy Blyce, defenseman Hunter Skinner, and conditional draft picks. Great pickup there by the Rangers. What do you think, Mackie?
Yeah, definitely a huge piece that we needed to pick up near the trade deadline. Get us over the edge of some of these teams. We've been absolutely playing incredible hockey recently. I think we're definitely one of the top 5 teams in the league as of late. Um, on a nice winning streak here. You went into Carolina, you beat them 6-2. They're just playing really good hockey, and obviously they have all the momentum right now. Getting Tarasenko, they're all confident, all the confidence and everything. We've got 2 goaltenders playing incredible. Halak's 6-0-1 in his last 7. Um, and obviously we know what Shesterkin can do. I don't know. This team's scary. I wouldn't want to see this team in the playoffs. I know the East is full of powerhouse teams right now. You got the Bruins, Hurricanes, obviously the Lightning are no one to be scared of. Leafs, but the Rangers are up there. I'm telling you, that's not a team that I would want to see in the playoffs. Um, I don't know about you
Yeah, I
guys.
yeah I agree with you. Definitely one of the NHL's elite, and it's just the thing is it's on that powerhouse Eastern Conference. I'd still put them at the 4 spot. I still have them behind the Bruins, Canes, and Lightning, but they're definitely very close to that Lightning group. Obviously, the Lightning have the experience. I compare this Tarasenko move really to Taylor Hall. It's kind of like least expected, and then you just swoop out of nowhere, pick up a former stud of the NHL, and you can throw him onto depth at your line if you want, and you can put them together with your top guys when needed, and can really flourish and bring some life and goal scoring into their offense. I think it's a great move, great pickup by the Rangers. Definitely gearing up for a big run this year.
Yeah, and there was rumors of him leaving there. Obviously, for the past couple of months, we've heard this, and throughout the offseason last year, I feel like we heard rumors about him possibly moving on from St. Louis, and there was always the Rangers as a rumor. And I said if he goes there, that's going to be a very scary look. And Mackey, like you said, I definitely think they're a top team, one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference, and definitely a team that I would not want to see in the playoffs. Obviously, um, we had to play you guys last year with all the injuries. Definitely, I don't think we could even force 6 games this year against you guys, let alone 7. So um, I think the Rangers is a very good move for them. Anytime you get, like Ace said, top one of the former top goal scorers in the NHL and still has a lot left in the tank. I think that's a big move going into the playoffs for a team that Mackie, they lost in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, correct?
Yeah, to the Lightning 4-2.
Yeah. And I mean, you add a goal scorer like Tarasenko whenever you need it, and like you said, Shesterkin's ability in the playoffs, we've seen it, former Vezina winner. I don't know. I think I've been staring at their price to win the cup just because it's so good, and everyone else, all those teams we keep saying are so low and not really worth me taking a future right now. But I don't know, dude. I think I saw the Rangers like 16-1 to win the cup. Like that's higher than they were preseason. They just got Tarasenko.
Yeah, I got him I threw 50 on him to win 800.
Huff, you've been riding that Rangers all year. You said you locked them in preseason too, though, no?
No, I didn't end up locking it in preseason. I'm glad I didn't because if I want to do it now, I mean, like obviously I think it's worth taking a future on the Bruins, but like I'm seeing plus 350. Like that's not, you know what I mean? Like when I want to take a future, I want like kind of crazy odds. So it's like if I hit it, okay, I just hit like a crazy odds future. But I mean, plus 350 to lay the money now and you know what I mean, not get it back till the end of fucking June maybe. It's like I don't know. But
On futures like that, you're like not expecting to hit.
Exactly. So like I never really take a plus 300 future.
You're expecting to hit. Yeah, you take a plus 300 future on the Bruins, you're expecting to hit it.
But if I also
I took Bruins
if I was picking the Bruins, if I wanted to throw money on the Bruins to win the cup, my dumbass would parlay it with something else. You know what I mean? And like I would hit the Bruins, but not the other thing.
You would take the Bruins I'd still a favorite for March Madness or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Or an NBA favorite, I guess. Who's the NBA
I'd probably
favorite?
do like
Celtics.
It's the Celtics, but I'd probably take the Bucks because I don't think
the Boston parlay.
I couldn't do that.
I have that.
I like the Bucks
already.
I believe it.
I mean, whenever you can hit that. I mean, a lot of cities do stuff like that though. You could have hit the Philly lose parlay.
That's so funny.
Steelers and Penguins did it back in what 2009? Last time.
Hey, Eagles listeners, they spell Philly with 2 L's. So you took one the other day, and Huff took one on the book. So there's 2 L's for the week.
They spell it with 3 now.
Yeah.
Hey, if I wasn't on the Eagles, I don't know if I would have been on Jalen Hurts' first touchdown. So that kind of was a blessing in disguise. So I'll take.
I followed our podcast last week. Not to touch on. I mean, I know we're doing NHL right now, but our podcast last week. If you tailed those picks that we talked about, we hit on a lot of them. Like the
dude, it was actually crazy.
Touchdowns. The first team touchdowns at Hurts and Kelsey. That's no brainers. Free. Give us that, and they fucking cashed easily.
I think Mackie and Jesse both had Pacheco, anytime touchdown. What was the other one
that
we were
huge.
talking about?
I didn't think we were getting that. I really didn't think I was getting that.
There was another like long shot that a Beak said Kadarius Toney anytime touchdown plus 370.
Yeah,
that hit.
I took it too. I was like, fuck it, a Beak, we'll ride. And he did it. He almost housed the kick return too. He almost housed the kick return too.
Does that count as an anytime touchdown score for him or for the special team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, for him.
You don't get the yards, but you get the touchdown.
But so the special teams and Kadarius Toney would cash in that situation?
No, and when you bet, it's a defensive touchdown, not a special team.
It's D/ST.
Yeah, you're also betting on a kick or a punt return.
Yeah, that would count too, though. It would count for that. Both would hit, I believe.
So
if yours says defensive or special team.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Unless they just mean defensive special team.
Yeah. No, they're like at least where I'm thinking of. It usually says it'll be like Steelers defense /ST special.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, then it would count both. I would assume.
Like a blocked extra point. Like a blocked extra point that gets run back, you would hit on that because it's obviously going to be like some linebacker that would be you know what I mean. You can't even bet their touchdown anyway.
Or a fake punt touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Kadarius Toney, that was the other one I was trying to think of.
Yeah, great day though, but definitely be looking for some of that here. That's why you got to tailor our picks. I mean, this NHL season, we've been up most units, and then it's gonna come back up. I mean, we know a lot about it now. We can really lock in on this season. So a lot of those same teams we've been touching on all year have been eating, and I think they're gonna continue to do so. So we'll be right there.
All right, boys, lots of good chat there in the NHL Eastern Conference. What do you guys think is going to happen and come out of the West here? Stars and Jets and Avs leading the Central. Wild right there with the Avs. Knights, Kings, and Kraken leading the Pacific. Oilers right behind the Kraken there. What are we thinking?
Yeah, it's kind of tough to say that McDavid is not really in the front runner for this conference. I mean, he has a whopping 97 points already this year and leading the league with 42 goals. And they're not even like the kings of the conversation when it comes to who's coming out of the West. They're fighting for their playoffs lives themselves. So to me, that jumps off the screen. But those expansion teams have been buzzing all year long. They've seen them all over our card. And then further than that, the Avs, I think, are going to start picking it back up. We're still getting them at plus money. Liked them tonight, so we'll see how that turns out. But those are the teams I'm really watching out west. I don't know who you guys have your eyes on out there.
I really like the Knights out there. Knights, we know what the kind of talent they have, and obviously they added Eichel this year. They're just finally getting healthy as well. They're sitting at the top of the division right now, so they're sitting pretty good. Maybe they can finish at the top of that division and get a wild card team in the first round, get some momentum going. Logan Thompson's playing some good hockey I think he's a rookie, correct?
Yeah, he's a rookie. He's actually number 2 in Rookie of the Year race, I believe. Or at
Yeah,
least
obviously
was.
behind Matty Beniers. Yeah, I really like him. I really like this team. I think they have a good shot out west in a weaker conference in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I'm-
I do like that Knights team, but another team I was looking at just for the sake of both having really good, solid goaltending is the Dallas Stars and Jake Ottinger and what I feel like he's capable of doing in a playoff run with that team. That's a team I didn't have a lot of faith in coming into this regular season, and they've obviously shut me up with a 30-14 record, 11 overtime losses. So they're getting the job done on their home ice, and that's something in the playoffs that when you're the top seed, you're going to be playing on your home ice up until the whole way through. But I think they're capable. Them and Vegas, I think, would be my 2 picks right now. Obviously, Avalanche kind of having a weird
Vegas
year,
too.
but yeah, those are 2 teams. Just I feel like the goaltending is the most solidified in the West, but obviously you still have teams like Winnipeg with Hallebuck, and they've been playing good hockey. But I just feel like Winnipeg finds a way to choke every year, so I'm gonna go with Vegas or Dallas out of the West.
Yeah, Vegas would be my pick as well. I think they finally get to the Cup this year after being nixed from it for so many. But the thing is that just lost my train of thought quick. That's tough. Oh, that Stars team. I'd say Ottinger's the 4th best goalie in the NHL, honestly. So he's the reason that they're going to be there. And then they have a lot of guys up front. Sagan, Ben, Joe Pavelski still playing great hockey. You have Jason Robertson with 34 goals. Miro Heiskanen on that big contract on the back end. Guys like Foxa, Hintz. I mean, the depth is off the charts for them. And they're just buzzing. They've been in the playoffs, a lot of 7-game series knockouts in the past few seasons. But I think they get over the hump and probably set themselves up for a nice Western Conference matchup with the Vegas Golden Knights, or if McDavid can make some magic happen and get his team there. I think that Kraken team will probably be a first round out and would be a nice matchup for the Oilers there. But we'll see how it comes out down the stretch and who ends up getting there. But I think it's going to be an Eastern Conference team that takes it for sure. The question I have is how many points do you think McDavid ends with? He's at 97 right now.
He's gonna hit 150.
150. That's not a bad number.
Probably, I'm gonna say 158.
How many games left? I think I asked this earlier. About roughly, would you say?
30 maybe?
25? 25?
No, that's 30.
All right.
Most teams have 30 at least.
I mean,
All right,
he'll
we'll
have
say
at
30.
least 40 more points.
has
if he doesn't miss a
28.
game. So
Yeah,
28
28
more
more games. So I'm going to guess he gets 40 more points. I'll say he gets like 140. I'll go just 10 under you, 140.
I was gonna say I think he gets like around 40 more points. So whatever the math is on that, 137 to 140.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Huff.
I think he's gonna hit a stride. He's gonna hit 150. I'm telling
He
you.
does put up 2 points a game, 3 points sometimes. So maybe our math's a little wrong there, Huff.
Ace, just out of curiosity, who's your top 4 goalies without injury at 4?
Vasilevsky, Hellebuck, Shesterkin, Ottinger.
Sturkin at 3.
Yeah,
That's great.
he's fallen off a
Okay.
bit this year.
Yes,
When-
that's crazy.
Oh yeah.
I also had to say that despite you, but no, he's probably the 2 coming into the year. But I guess you could argue it's 3. But he's on a better team than Hellebuck too, a much better team. I just like those big goalies, like Vazzy and Hellebuck.
That's why I
Yeah,
like Ottinger. He's a
Hellebuyck already has a
fucking
Vezina under
force.
his belt too.
Um, but yeah, Ottinger is right there too, and he's the youngest of the group. I know Shesterkin's pretty young too, but I think Ottinger can still up his game even more. He has a great team in front of him too. I think there's so much firepower on that Stars team. But those are the elite four goaltenders in the NHL, in my opinion. Those are neck and shoulders above everybody else. And then I guess you just have Allmark top of tier two, just because he's playing so well, but he's not really like as talented as those other guys. I don't think.
I think it's the team, a lot to do with the team, but you definitely got to put him right there at the top of tier too.
Yeah, but those top four clear cut best goalies in the NHL.
Sorokin.
Yeah,
I was
Sorokin's
just gonna
tier
say,
two.
where do you?
I
throw
think he's
Sorokin?
outside of that top tier.
Yeah, I'd say he's sitting right there at the top of tier two though.
Yeah,
He's
for
so
sure.
capable of just going on a crazy run, though.
Yeah,
He
but
did it.
I
He
still
did
need
it
to
a
see
couple years
more.
ago in the playoffs when the Islanders had a little
No,
run.
but I thought it was Varlamov.
Yeah, it wasn't
He split-
Sorokin.
We were beat. The Penguins kept beating Sorokin. I think it was the second round that Sorokin did better, but we would always get the year. Yeah, I can't talk. The year we lost to the Islanders in the first round, we kept losing to Varlamov, and Varlamov would play, but we would beat Sorokin. And whoever the Islanders got in the second round, I thought Sorokin had a pretty good round. Didn't they go to the Eastern Conference Finals that year?
They beat the Bruins, and it was Varlamov against us.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong.
But the thing is, he's not. I think this is the first year he's really had the cage to himself, right?
Last year too. He just gets so many shutouts. He's just inconsistent. I mean, he's either on or he's off.
Yeah,
He's
but I'd
definitely
say he's
really
right
good,
outside. Ottinger is making a case to be like for years to come to take over that one spot potentially. I think he has that much talent.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
within the next 3 years, 1 and 2 is going to be Shesterkin and Ottinger. I don't know who's going to be 1 and 2. I think one of them will have a cup, and that'll decide. But Vasilevsky's getting a little older now. Hellebuck's getting a little older now. I think it's definitely going to be those two guys.
Yeah, just for right now though, Vasilevsky watching that Avs Bolts game last night, he's the guy. Like he plays with the swagger, the confidence.
You see the save he had on McKinnon? Like that was not easy at all, and he just fucking didn't like he didn't barely even moved.
Yeah, he's insane. Like he's been doing it for so long. He has all the accolades. I mean, you can't knock him off that spot yet.
No.
That's
what
why
I'm
he's still
saying.
on.
Give us 3 years when he's
Yeah, agreed.
a little older and he's not moving like he does now.
He's not even that old though, right?
He's got to be in his 30s.
I'll verify.
That's the stat I was.
Maybe 29.
Vasilevsky
28.
he's born in 94. He's 28. He's young. I didn't think he was
Yeah,
that
so
young.
by the time you're 31, 32 years old, you're not moving like you do.
Yeah, it's not like he's old though.
Yeah.
But Mackie, Igor's 27. He's a year younger than him.
No way.
Yeah.
Mackey's shook right now. I didn't think Vazzy was that young either. I thought Shesterkin was about 25.
I thought Shesterkin was 25 too. So how old? Ottinger's only 25.
He's 23. No,
He's
Ottinger's
25.
younger.
He's 98. He's 98.
He's
Ottinger's
24.
24.
24.
He's a 98 though.
He'll be
Yeah.
25 this year.
Yeah. So
No, he's a late
20.
98 Mackey. He's like December 18th, like basically a 99.
And Hellebuck's the oldest of them all at 29.
So it will be Ottinger in a few years.
No, it's still going to be Shesterkin.
Sorokin, 27, the same age as Shesterkin.
Joke's on you. It's still going to be Vasilevsky. All right, I think that's enough hockey talk for today, but we've got a lot coming. I know we're going to have some plays this week, so definitely stay tuned for those picks.
Yeah, boys, lots of good stuff there out of the NHL. Again, the trade deadline just 2 weeks away, so probably lots more details to cover before that. Let's shift our focus over to the NBA. The big talk of the town right now is Kevin Durant to the Suns in a 4-team deal, including the Suns, the Bucks, the Pacers, and the Nets. We haven't got to comment on this yet.
Yeah, like you said, Kevin Durant going to the Phoenix Suns. I mean, what a deal for a team that needs to get over the hump. Mackie and I really trashing them the last few NBA segments. They're always right there in the standings, and then they fall apart in the playoffs. And then why not go get the Slim Reaper guy who has the rings and the accolades? I mean, that puts you over the top, in my opinion. They have to be the odds-on favorite to win, besides the Celtics right now. But out west, I mean, Mackie, what do you think? Does this change your tune on the Phoenix Suns at all? You think they have a chance to win it now? I think a few weeks ago we wrote them off.
Yeah, I mean, you just added a top three player in the league. Of course, it's going to change my attitude on this team. I just don't like the Suns at all. I don't like Chris Paul. I don't like Devin Booker. I don't think they deserve anything. They threw a party for winning the Western Conference Finals.
I like DeAndre Ayton.
I like Ayton too. I was
Yeah,
just
I
gonna
don't
say I
really
like
like him
Ayton.
either. He's a first round exit in March Madness, and then he goes to the league. What a loser. Um, I just don't like this team at all, and I don't think that they deserve to win. But when you add Kevin Durant, we saw it with the Warriors. Granted, the Warriors had already won a championship, but you add a player like him to a super team, and you're probably going to win a championship. I don't see how they don't win it this year. As long as he fits the system. I mean, we've seen a lot of star players go to big teams, and it just hasn't worked out. So we could maybe see this again, but this
What's
team's got
crazy
to be
to
the
me
favorite.
What's crazy to me is if you guys remember all the rumors in the offseason about any big name going to the Suns, it was always rumored that they had to give up Devin Booker. And what's crazy to me is they didn't give up one of those top guys to get Kevin Durant, so they can keep him in the mix. They've gone toe to toe with some of the league's best year in and year out. I mean, this move has to put him over the top. And I know the West is tough out there. A lot of teams loaded up, but I think they're going to be one tough out.
Mackie, just to defend DeAndre Ayton there, you came off pretty hot about him. I didn't know you were that passionately about him going to the NBA, but he had to go to the NBA. He was getting paid. There was like a whole investigation about it, so he just said, "Fuck this place. I'm going to the league."
I just don't like him, to be honest. I just don't. I don't know. I've had this time. My boy's a Suns fan, so I'm really biased against them because he
Oh,
talks about them nonstop and how good they are.
yeah.
And I just hated how they threw a parade for a Western Conference championship, and then they got beat 4-1 in the finals.
I forget. I think it was 2 years ago when maybe it was the bubble year. Were they in the playoffs the bubble year?
No,
Yeah, they were.
they went seven. No, they weren't. They went 7-0 in the play or in the bubble, and then they just still missed the playoffs.
They just missed it. Yeah. So the year that they played the Bucks in the finals, I forget. I took Ayton like 2 or 3 games in this one series to score for the first basket, and he hit all 3 or 2 out of the 3. And I was like, I absolutely love this guy now for the rest of my life. So, but I think the one game I took him first basket, and then I just did like 15 points and 10 rebounds, and he hit it. It was like plus 11 or plus 1100 or something like that. It was pretty good. So.
Is that why you came in defending him? You have a soft spot for him?
Yeah, I have a nice little bet slip somewhere in my photos from him cashing me a nice same game parlay. It literally was just DeAndre Ayton first basket, DeAndre Ayton 15 points, DeAndre Ayton 10 rebounds. I'm like, yep, if he gets the first basket, he should get that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't
But
like
yeah,
him.
but
Dude, that bubble
to Kevin
tournament,
Durant, like you said, or go ahead.
I was just gonna say that bubble tournament was so easy to make so much money.
Yeah, there was no home court advantage. It was just like
It was just
all
the best players in the world just straight up hooping, pickup.
Yeah.
It was I think every single over hit.
Oh yeah. But
TJ
like
Warren
you
got
said
50
about,
a game.
I was gonna say TJ Warren is that the year he was a Pacer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
in
mean,
the first round.
you talk about the bubble. Lemecki, leading point scorer. We didn't even touch on that last week. He got another phony ring to add to his resume in the bubble. So
Don't call it a phony ring. If anything, that's the hardest ring to win. The best players in the world just simply hooping. That's showing that he's
what
the
did he
best
do?
player.
What did he do? He beat Jimmy Butler, who played like 60 minutes a night without Bam Adebayo.
They got there, didn't they? Didn't they beat the Celtics? That
Yeah,
Celtics team, they beat them.
No, that wasn't the six Celtics team. The six Celtics team lost to the Warriors last year.
It's the same team.
No, it got better. It got better this year too.
You guys just added like Grant Williams and Robert.
No.
They got Al Horford from the year before. They don't think they had Al Horford in the bubble.
They didn't. They played against him.
He was in the Sixers, right?
And they also Rob Williams picked up a much larger role and got a lot better. Everybody got a year older, and then this year they added Brogdon and some other key wing guys. Before it was Daniel Tice.
Bucket.
Daniel Tice was the fucking center of the year in the bubble. I mean, come on.
Dude, I used
Bam
to think
Adebayo
him
was
first
all over
basket
him
all the time too. Oh,
Bam Adebayo was all over him in that 7-game series against the Heat. That's when I was living and working in Florida too. So all these Heat fans were trying to chirp me when it went to 7. That was a crazy series too. But then Adebayo got overplayed, he got injured. I think what's his name, Dragic got injured, and they didn't play in the finals against LeBron. So that Heat team that was buzzing ended up missing out on some of their key players. But that was good effort by Butler though.
That was the Lakers' year. That was Kobe's year. I mean, it was meant for the Lakers.
Yeah, no, agreed for sure. I think LeBron deserved it too. But LeBron's team, speaking about loading up, besides the Suns, the Lakers really loaded up at this deadline too. A lot of people like to chirp their ownership, but they got D'Angelo Russell back. They got Rui Hachimura, and they picked up Bol, I believe. So that's three good pieces, and they offloaded some of the cancers on their team with Pat Bev and Russell Westbrook.
Mo Bamba, not Ball.
Who'd they get?
The Lakers got Mo Bamba, not Ball.
Oh, all right, yeah. I was thinking two similar type players, but
I mean, Mo Bamba's kind of trash. He's not gonna help you in a playoff run.
yeah, but he can. They can play a song in the locker room and get hyped now.
Yeah, I guess it does add a little.
No, but D'Lo and Rui Hachimura, I think those are two really good pickups. Both great fits for that team, and they're both young stars. So, way to add around LeBron.
I liked the addition of Hachimura.
Yeah, they got rid of Russell Westbrook, so that's what everybody wanted too.
Mm-hmm. It's what LeBron wanted. We'll see how it works.
What did you say you broke up there?
I said, that's what LeBron. It seemed like LeBron wanted. We'll see how it works. I mean, I talk a lot of shit on Westbrook, but I mean, I think he's a good basketball player at times. He just needs to learn a role, but him and LeBron just wasn't going to work.
No, I think he did learn his role. I think he's been playing well this year.
He was playing well lately. He was playing well lately off the bench.
That's why
he
they
would come into
him,
the games and he'd just get buckets.
He's just finally learned his role. He wouldn't accept his role before. He'll take his role as a sixth man now. He's playing good basketball.
Yeah.
D'Angelo Russell.
The way the season started.
Imagine
that Lakers team is gonna be the same thing though. They just need LeBron and AD healthy. That's really all it is.
That's the hardest thing.
I was gonna say that's.
Other than that, the last team out west, I think that really made a key move was the Dallas Mavericks acquiring Kyrie Irving from the Nets. That kind of spurred the KD trade, but they've kind of been buzzing with that backcourt of Kyrie and Luka, and I know that they played the other night and lost by 3 in their first game together, I believe, and just missed out on finishing a comeback. But Kyrie's been pretty electric since he got there, and if he can keep his head on straight, I mean, that's a tough duo as well.
Yeah,
that's going to be a very exciting team.
You know they'll fall short.
Their front court's pretty weak, but I mean, those two guys on the back end, they're ballers, and they'll give it all they got. I mean, they'll put up big stats to keep them in playoff series, so they play the Grizzlies, something like that. They could give them a run for their money, in my opinion.
Until Kyrie says some weird shit and Luka wants him shipped.
Good thing is Luka, maybe a little bit of a language barrier might be in Kyrie Irving's favor there.
But I kind of agree with Mackie. I think this team, I don't know if they're going to make too much noise this year. I still think teams like obviously Phoenix and no one wants to see the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs.
They were in the Western Conference Finals last year.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
I feel like
Luka Doncic has the ability to win any basketball game that he plays in, and then you add Kyrie Irving. That's just another X factor.
Yeah, and then you add Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Chris Paul, DeAndre, and it sucks getting rid of McCall Bridges though. He was a really nice piece to that team.
Agreed, but you got to do what it takes for.
You got to do what it takes to get the Slim Reaper.
Especially if it's not Devin Booker too. You know.
Did you see what McCall Bridges said about it?
Them. Yeah. About how he found out from his buddy, or he was like, "You got to do it for Kevin Durant."
He was like, "I get it. Like I would do it too. It's Kevin Durant."
Yeah, I mean,
that's got to be a good feeling to get traded for Kevin Durant. But they got a pretty good haul back. I mean, they got Dinwiddie, they got Bridges, they got, I believe, a few more pieces and some picks.
As in that.
Yeah, and that's why it's gonna help to maybe rejuice his career a bit. But that's good for the Western Conference to get some more power. I know we really are heavy on the Eastern Conference here. We think that the winner's going to come out of there. But a lot of these moves shake up the league and some outlook for the rest of the season.
I'm telling you, I don't want to see these Denver Nuggets. And Jokic is playing fucking good basketball, and I love him. So I'm going to be a little
back to the
biased
odds-on
Nuggets,
favorite.
But...
This could be like Dirk's 2011 win. Jokic.
Yeah. I was going to say, I thought you were alluding back to the Mavericks, and I was a little confused, but yeah, I see what you mean.
No, yeah, like with Joe, like beating all these super teams, like he had to beat Kobe, he had to beat KD and Russ. He beat LeBron and D Wade in the championship. I think you'd have to
Yep.
beat probably that Celtics team in the championship and everything. So that'd be pretty sick. He's
Yeah.
definitely the player to do it. That guy is just unbelievable.
Dude,
Probably gonna
he's
go
so
back to
good.
back to back.
He's definitely my new, like, I mean, not really necessarily new, one of my top favorite players in the league, if not the top. I mean, he's just so exciting to watch. Like the numbers, what he's able to do at that size, and the team around him is just so consistent, and they're so like, I mean, Jamal Murray, they still have guys that can score, but when you got a guy like a back to back, is he? No, he's not back to back MVP, is he?
Yeah, he is.
I was gonna say I thought he was, but I just wanted to make sure before I said that. But I mean, when you got him on the floor, I'll take Jokic over anyone in the league right now.
He's minus 170 to go back to back to back.
Yep. Remember when we were writing him off earlier? We were looking at Luka and Jason Tatum. Look at Jokic all the way back
Look,
up there again.
look at
Yeah, he's like,
Tatum plus
fuck that.
1,300. He was like plus 300 at one point.
It's Jokic
And
more
they're
than
still
it is
winning,
Tatum.
so
Like meaning Jokic's high, like I don't know how to word this. Jokic's success has meant more to those odds than Tatum having a bad season, if that makes any sense. Like Tatum's obviously still having a really good year, but
Well,
it's the fact that
also,
Jokic
Hoff, I
just
think the
keeps
thing
doing
is,
it.
Jokic does so much on the floor. He's a stuffer. So as the year goes on, he accumulates so many, and each is like, how the fuck do you not give it to him?
Exactly.
and it's
So
just how much he means to that team. I mean, that team is not a playoff team without him.
So let me
I
see
think
your guys' pick to come out of the Western Conference as of right now, post trade deadline, pre All Star break.
I'm going last because I gotta look at shit. I don't know.
Dude, I'm not picking Phoenix.
No,
So
you like Denver. I think you like Denver.
I think I like Denver. I think Denver. I'll go with Jokic.
Denver.
Mackie kind of juiced me up with that little Dirk Nowitzki comparison, and now I'm just thinking about placing future on the Nuggets.
Nuggets future, lock it in. I mean,
I wonder
for
what
me
they're at. What do we
personally,
think their odds are?
Nuggets, they're probably the second favorite.
Yeah, they're 40 and 18.
For me personally, I'm gonna go with the Suns, even though I'd like to see the Mavericks make a run.
I'm gonna go
That's
with the
bad.
Lakers. No, I'm kidding. That'd be really
What
cool.
about
Though.
the Clippers? They're pretty good and they're pretty healthy again.
Yeah,
Dude,
you could never count out Kawhi, but this team
But
just
I'm going with the Suns.
yeah, I think it's definitely gonna be between those teams. I don't think Memphis is there quite yet. Sacramento's looked good, but they're not making a run to that for a championship. Like I said, I think the Mavs are gonna fall short. I don't think the Warriors have it this year, so it's really only down to those teams, in my opinion. I'm gonna go with the Nuggets, like I alluded to before. I really think Jokic's year to at least represent the Western Conference. Um, I think he can actually win it this year too.
Maybe
You
I'll
can
just
get
say
the
my Mavericks
Nuggets.
though. I'm excited because I took them 10 to win like 380 a few weeks ago, like way before Kyrie was even a thought. And now their odds are way worse. So I got some good odds on
Oh
them.
yeah, they're
Yeah,
plus
it's nice.
1,400 now.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
back to
I
what
got
I was
them
saying.
at
The
plus
Nuggets,
2,500.
dang. Yeah, the Nuggets. You can get the Nuggets at plus 750 on FanDuel. So might have to dabble on that one. The Nuggets to win the West plus 350 is also interesting.
At this point, if you're gonna beat Kevin Durant, I think you're gonna win it all.
Yes, boys, lots of good stuff there out of the Western Conference in the NBA. The Bucks here the East on a 10-game winning streak. Celtics here leading the East 41-17. 76ers in third, 37-19, 7-3 in their last 10. Cavs 8-2 in their last 10. What do we think's going to come out of the East here? You guys were talking a lot about the West there. What do we think?
I said it a little bit earlier. I kind of no disrespect to Ace your Celtics, but I think I'm on Giannis and the Bucks this year. I think Middleton obviously missing the first start of the start of the season and kind of working him back into the lineup over the past couple of weeks and going into the future. And I just think that Bucks team and what Giannis is capable of, kind of the same reason I like the Nuggets. Just in the NBA, I usually like to pick a star and ride with them in the playoffs, and I think those are two pretty good choices in Giannis and Jokic. Sorry, I can't talk again, but I think a Bucks Nuggets final would be pretty sick. But Ace, I'll hand things over to you to allude to your Celtics.
Yeah, I mean, I get your point with the Celtics because those Bucks have been there and done that. But the thing is, they struggled with the Celtics the other night, and they were missing Marcus Smart
They
and
did.
Jalen Brown, and they were in Milwaukee, I believe, and it took them till extra time to get that done. I mean, with those pieces, the Celtics are battle tested, and they're going to get there. They'll at least get to the conference finals again. Um, I think they're due for a championship sooner or later. You know that duo is going to win one with Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum. But the one team that I would advise people not sleep on in the East is the Philadelphia 76ers. I think they have some of the most talent on any roster as well. Joel Embiid is one of the best players in the NBA. If he can stay healthy, the thing I always err to the side of caution with the Sixers is, can he play a 7-game series? That's what we've seen to him be able to not do. I mean, they've been knocked out in 7 a lot of times. Just because Embiid has put the team on his back, nobody else steps up. And maybe he gets some help now with Harden and the rest of the cast. But I like the Sixers and the Celtics out there. If the Heat can somehow get healthy, they're a good dog at the bottom. Nets faded off ever since they dealt out everybody. I know they're still sticking around, but Nets, Cavs, not too worried about them, or the Pacers, Hornets, Hawks, nothing too scary. But yeah, it's really a 3-team race in my opinion with the Bucks, Sixers, and Celtics. I'll take the C's, but I think the Sixers are right there. Mackie, you got any thoughts on this Eastern Conference?
I'm kind of there with you. I do like the Celtics, but I wouldn't count out those Cavaliers. I think that team is definitely really good. Donovan Mitchell's been balling out this year. They're 25-6 at home, so they're getting the job done at home. So they're I don't know if they could steal one on the road. I think they can definitely take one from one of these top 3 teams. Whoever does end up getting that 1 seed, I'm assuming the Cavs will probably get that 4 seed. But I do like the Celtics. I think they get back there this year, and I think they defend the Eastern Conference. I want to see Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown get a ring. I like them together. I really think they deserve one at this point. Obviously, Marcus Smart as well, but those two are really the face of that
That
team.
roster's built for one. I mean, you have Smart, Brown, Tatum, Brogdon, Williams, like Horford. I mean, that's a lot of good names up top to start with your roster, and a decent bench. I know they got some guys that they've been picking up to bolster it in past years, really showing true that was one of their weaknesses. But you have all those guys are really hitting their prime. They've been together for so long. Great coach in Missoula out of Rhode Island. Shout out the Ocean State. But they're buzzing. I mean, it shows that they're there. I mean, they're clicking without their coach from last year. And I don't know. I think they're battle proven. They know what it takes. They lost to the Warriors team. That's always a tough out. But who knows? Playoffs, long 7-game series. Health is going to be the determining factor for all 3 of those teams involved, Bucks, Celtics, and Sixers. I mean, if their key guys can stay healthy, any of them could go on to win the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I agree with your points, but I like Giannis too much to go against him. I definitely could see the Celtics defend the East and go back, but I that's a series I'm definitely rooting for to see is Boston versus Milwaukee, and I think you want to see obviously me not having a horse in the race with no NBA team in Pittsburgh, and me not necessarily having a home team, and just kind of I'm more root for players in the NBA. I talk about that a lot, but um, with this the way the playoffs make up every year in the NBA, I always just kind of root for 7-game series and the best matchups between the stars. And I'd love to see Tatum versus Giannis go 7 games for the Eastern Conference Finals. That'd be amazing. But like you said, the Sixers are no joke. They find a way to do it every year and lose. But I could see them go on a little run too. But I'm gonna stick with Milwaukee. I think on my choice. I'll go Milwaukee and Denver.
Yeah, I think it's a much tighter picture for who can really make it out, and we're all on the same page there. But that final team is the one you got to pick, and we'll see as it comes on the stretch who it's going to be. But that West is a lot of teams out there that could take it home this year. Going to be an interesting few weeks of the NBA. I know we got the All-Star break coming up, but once we get through that, it'll really start to buckle down there. Got to get that card back up too, which you know we will. A lot of games coming up soon, so be aware of that.
Yeah, we took a little break on that. Obviously, the NBA, we're on the deadline. Shit gets so weird in the NBA. Durant obviously still hasn't played a game for Phoenix. Obviously, he's been injured, but just a lot of guys not really in and out of the lineups with the NBA lately. So we've kind of been just kind of taking them as we like them there. But yeah, definitely looking to get this one back, the NBA card back rolling the way it was earlier on throughout the season. And as we come down the late stretch and through the NBA playoffs, I know we had a pretty, I think, Mackie, what were we last year in the NBA playoffs? Like, we ended plus like 6-7 units, so right around where we're at right now. So definitely would be nice to see NBA sitting up around 15 towards the end of the season. Same with the NHL. And yeah, throughout the playoffs and stuff, we'll obviously try to keep that going. But yeah, that's basically going to do it for, I think, the NBA talk.
Yeah, it's just going to about wrap up everything we got for the NBA. A couple things to review here in the NFL, including the Super Bowl. First up, the Raiders officially informed quarterback Derek Carr that he's been released per source. Team released him before $40.4 million in his contract became guaranteed on Tuesday. Carr is now a free agent and is expected to draw interest from teams like the Saints and the Panthers, amongst others. You guys got any comments on this? Do we have any speculation on where Derek Carr might end up?
I think he's going to the
I've been hearing
Panthers because I think he's going to the Panthers just because Frank Reich loves old veteran quarterbacks.
He'll find a home for sure. I mean, where, I'm not too sure. I haven't heard too many rumors, but a lot of places need quarterbacks. Tennessee, LA Rams, the Seahawks, the Panthers, the Falcons, the Saints. The list goes on. So Derek Carr is going to get a good deal wherever he chooses. I'm going to say multi-year deal as well.
Yeah, I just
also that helps the QB carousel because someone's going to need to go to Vegas as well.
Tampa.
Yep, and Tampa.
Did you say Tampa as a part of that list?
No, but you're right. I forgot about the whole NFC South needs a quarterback. Literally the whole
entire
NFC
division.
South. It's crazy.
So.
All right, lots more trade and draft information coming down the line here with the Super Bowl happening this past weekend. So lots to look forward to in the offseason for the NFL. Let's jump into the Super Bowl and see how we did. Our records for the Super Bowl go as followed. Ace going 3-1, Mackie going 2-0, myself going 2-1, Huff going 2-1. Overall for the playoffs, our records go as followed. Ace going 14-11 plus just right a hair over 8 units. Huff right behind him going 7-12 plus 3.85 units. Thank you to his 2 first touchdowns in the Super Bowl. Myself behind him 7-5 plus 2.55 units. And behind me is Mackie going 8-8 plus 4.46 units. Lots of good stuff there. All positives across the board for the NFL playoffs. What do you guys got? Great Super Bowl we had. I know we touched on it a bit here in the beginning of the episode, but give me the rundown. What do we think?
I'll start us out. Obviously, me being on the losing side of the teams. I'll start us out. Obviously, was feeling pretty good about the Eagles going through that whole game, and to start the drive, Gainwell goes down. It was originally called a touchdown. Gainwell goes down. I start fucking shoving Mackie on the couch. I'm like, oh, this is QB sneak territory. Here's Jalen. You see the offensive line come up, fucking their heads buried in the dirt, and Jalen Hurts just sneaks it in. I'm like, all right, this is shaping up to be a good one. And then I remember the Chiefs start driving right down the field. I'm like, okay, we're going to have a little bit of a shootout here. I look at both of you guys. You guys were on the Chiefs, and I'm like, all right, Travis Kelce right here. I'm a Chiefs fan. Just give me 87 in the end zone. 20. It was
right
like
over the shoulder.
Right over the shoulder, dude. It was so perfect. I was like, holy fucking shit, this is crazy.
You literally won $1,100 in 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was insane. I was like, okay, and just at that point, I'm like, what am I gonna hedge if Chiefs go up or if the Eagles go up, and they obviously did. I did, and I kind of alluded to that earlier on, but I was just kind of on a high from those first two. But I've been carding the first touchdowns all year, and Ace, you said it best whenever I texted about it, but stuck to the guns and finally brought 2 home in the last game of the season. And one thing I'd like to say, at least for myself and my record over the past 2 years, and if you would have told me starting this podcast that I would go 2 straight NFL seasons with a winning record and winning units, I would say you're honestly pretty crazy to do that in the NFL consistently. It's obviously the average person, loses money gambling, and 2 years on the card in the NFL with a winning record and positive units. Obviously, it was a little better late than never. I was down about, I think 4 units going into that game and winning 9.3, and ended me at plus 4.62 on the year. So that's definitely something that I was proud of myself to end up after an 0-14 start, officially ending the season 69, 68, and 1 plus 4.62 units. I mean, I was down 20 units at one point, so the comeback I had, just had to pat myself on the back with the platform that I have. So I heard a lot of shit throughout the first couple weeks of the season, and after the Super Bowl, sitting here after a winning Super Bowl or a winning regular season and playoffs. But yeah, I know we all obviously caked in the playoffs, and Mackie, you led us in the unit department throughout all of us with 6.19 on the year, 93-90, 93 wins, 90 losses, and 3 pushes. It's kind of a tough record to say, but hell of a season for all of us, honestly. But yeah, the Super Bowl was we all caked on it, like you said. The records, the Ace 3-1, all of us, Mackie 2-0, me and you 2-1. But it was a great game. Obviously, the game we all were hoping for and were hyping up for. We saw a hell of a performance out of Jalen Hurts, like Mackie said earlier on. I definitely think this Eagles team is not done yet. It's going to be tough with what they have. Both of their coordinators signing head coaching jobs and or committing to head coaching jobs with one with the Colts and I believe the other one with the Cardinals. And yeah, just yesterday. So obviously right after the game, they lose both of their coordinators. They obviously have a bunch of draft picks. They also have a lot of free agents. And it's going to be interesting to see what this team can do. But definitely Jalen Hurts, Mackie, you said, I think he's a top 4, top 5 quarterback in the NFL. And that game gave so much faith for me to have in him going forward as a quarterback. Obviously, I kind of doubted him throughout parts of this season. I was one of the people saying, the rest of the team is so good. It's not really Jalen Hurts. And in that Super Bowl, he really showed what he's capable of.
It's Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what do you have? 3 rushing touchdowns. He got the 2-point conversion after the one to cash that bet for a bunch of people that hasn't
He
hit.
fought for that. He didn't look like he was getting that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Jalen Hurts have a good game. Cost his team the chance at winning another second Super Bowl ring by fumble sixing that one. Probably the only downfall of his day. But yeah, Patrick Mahomes showed up too, and his ankle looked fine. Got a little scare at halftime, but he came back ready to go and did his thing. Didn't even have to throw too much. Very efficient on when he had the ball as the Eagles dominated the time on possession. But I hit with Huff on that first Kelsey TD score. We were saying it was free for weeks, and it ended up being true. So congratulations to everybody that hit that with us and the Hurts TD. We all knew A.J. Brown was getting in, and he did. And obviously the rest of our pod hit on Pacheco as well, who had a great game. We were talking about those explosive legs all week, and they showed up running for 76 yards. Mahomes actually having a good day on the ground as well, crushing his over 18.5-yard rushing prop that I was pretty fond of. Didn't get the passing yards, but that's all right. He didn't need to do it as much, but he got my Chiefs the win with that multi-unit play. And he got another MVP, and he's going to be here for years to come. I think he's going to finish with at least 7 Super Bowl appearances. My projection for him to go 4-3 in his Super Bowl career, but obviously a long time between that. But staking his claim as that guy, just like Tom Brady was doing during his tenure, who you're going to have to go through to get a Super Bowl year in and year out. And with Travis Kelce at his disposal, I mean, him and Andy Reid, that 300 monster out of Kansas City, showed up, and they showed why they deserved to get the ring. Helped me cash out on that Super Bowl, and all the boys ate, so love to see that. It was great to watch, and a great playoff record for myself. After a tough first season on the books, trying to bounce back every week, finally reset on playoffs, and ended up almost at double-digit units in a short span of time. So was happy to see that, and happy to roll it into the other sports in the next season. So definitely a great wrap-up here, and looking forward to next year with the football world.
Yeah, honestly, with the regular season, you had so many kind of tough beats, and that's all you could really do is just kind of look at the playoffs as a new start, and I mean, you fucking lit up the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. I think I gotta take that philosophy into next year. Really hone in on lesser games on the big slates, kind of like we do with the nightly cards. So I'm excited for that for sure.
Yeah, I don't really have much to say. Obviously, it's nice to be up a little over 6 units. I think you said I wanted to be up over 10 to finish the season, but just couldn't really get there. Had a nice Super Bowl, but the rest of the playoffs weren't very good. I think I was definitely a little minus before the Super Bowl, but just gonna bounce back next year. hopefully we can get over 10 to 15 units next year. And like I've said, it's just about consistencies. Positive 2 years in a row, and that's what I'm looking to do next year. So yeah, it's
Mac,
another season in
Mac,
the
yeah,
book.
just looked at your record from last year. You were 33, 36, and 1. Obviously, we all had a lot less individual plays last year. You were 33, 36, and 1, minus 5.37 units. So if you put your two records together, you technically have made money over the past 2 seasons in the
Yeah, chump change. $100 over 2 years.
NFL. It's better than losing. But I'm
Yep.
probably, what did I say? A 4.6. I'm like right over 7 units over 2 seasons. That feels good to say.
Nice. Definitely a huge Super Bowl for you.
Yeah, that was crazy, dude. I was expecting to go, like, I was literally just about to card Eagles, and obviously I would have ended like -7, and now I'm sitting here
Yeah,
positive.
you have been so pissed.
Yeah, I'm glad I did it, but yeah, I think that's gonna do it for us this week, and then we'll see you guys next week for obviously football's over. Gonna keep touching in on the NHL, NBA, college basketball, like Jesse said earlier. We got a couple plays pending tonight, 3 I believe with Northwestern, Mississippi State, and Mackey. What's the other one? I'm drawing a blank here. Iowa State.
Iowa State,
But
yeah.
yeah, we got three pending tonight. Obviously, looking to get a couple NHL games out tonight, and maybe an NBA or two. But that's going to do it for me. We will see you guys next week. Make sure you're subscribing, liking all the social media content, wherever you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, wherever you get your podcast. Make sure you're liking, leaving a review, 5 stars. Really goes a long way for us in the long run. But like I said, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening.
And that's going to do it for us on this episode of Hit the Books. Thank you to everyone who tunes in each and every week. Without you, we wouldn't be able to do what we do here, so please like, share, and subscribe wherever you can. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for our plays each and every night in the NHL, NFL, MLB, NBA, college basketball, and college football. Thank you again, and see you next week.